Welcome back. We got the podium on the men's side, and it feels like, you know what it feels like to me? You know when you go out a night in town with the boys, nobody sleeps. You wake up the next day and you're chilling on the couch. You got the game on or a movie or something. That's what it feels like right now. I don't think any of us have slept, but what a freaking night that was. What a freaking night that was. And Kjell, as we're getting ready for the banquet, remember last year you were at it was first year actually.
First year.
You were the reserve. That's right.
The first year I was the coach.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Next year you were the reserve.
Yeah.
And Frank, look at you. Every year you've done something different.
Yeah.
This one will be tough on the top though.
If I'm not just going down to the 59.
That's right. Put a bit of that. But coming into this, how was all of your guys' prep? I'll throw it down to Gustav. Maybe we'll work our way, swing around the table here. But Gustav, how was your prep leading into this?
My prep was very good. Everything went excellent. Everything was on point. So I was super strong yesterday as well. So I have nothing to complain about. The prep went very well, and I enjoyed like the whole prep as well. No injuries. My chest is good, so I have a very good momentum, I feel. So
Yeah, you have been dealing with that upper body chest injury for a while there. Finally 100%?
yeah, I would say so. The new softer pad is helping out.
And how about for yourself, Kjell?
This has been a really hard prep.
Yeah, I bet.
This has been really hard.
Heavily scrutinized too, huh?
Yeah. The pressure was there from day one, and I was a little cocky. So I was going to do great. But the prep was hard. The training was really good, and the nutrition was really good. Just whole life situation, right? With the kids and work and everything. So, but I can't really complain when the outcome was what it is.
Like literally, I mean, I said it was scrutinized. It's been a long time since, like, even just people talking about the weighted vest, walking on the treadmill, to like your body weight, like everything was scrutinized to every single training video dropped. Like, was it standard? What was his body weight? What was the total? To like, it's crazy the amount of scrutiny you went through.
Yeah, and I really thought about, like, for every training video that was out there, I thought I needed to prove a point every time. So when I did 740 in training, I was like, oh, this sucks. So every time I needed to do better, I needed to weigh less. Every walk that I did had to be weighted. And yeah, every meal was important. And yeah, this was a big sacrifice.
I mean, it's been a long time since I've seen anybody quite this, under this much pressure, because the expectations, even just like there was talk about whether or not you'd make weight, how you'd feel after you did make weight, if you did. And then, so before we get to the event and the weigh-in itself, and when I found out, oh my God, he had to take 2 times to weigh in, what does that mean? What's that going to look like? Even before all that, for yourself, and it's Sheffield, you know, was it a motivator? Was it kind of like a wave where you're riding high in the motivation and sometimes it started getting to you? And how did you feel dealing with all of this?
It didn't really get to me because I'm really used to the pressure from the equipped side, and been doing this for so long, almost at 20 years now. And the things that really motivated me this whole prep, first one was Pana.
Is that right?
Yeah. The podcast with Pana.
Yeah.
And the Matt Gary. To prove them wrong was important.
And let me tell you, Matt Gary is ready we're going to do a photo shoot with you and Matt Gary. He's like, I got to eat my crow. He's game. He's a gamer for it. Emil, how about yourself? How was prep for you coming into this?
So my prep is very good this time because the most enjoyable prep I have is this for Sheffield. I don't have any issues with my back because I have half, 1 year and a half, probably 2 years with my back, especially after the awards for South Africa. So this prep, we don't have any issues with my back, any injuries. Everything is good. I don't happy with execution with the high standards in the training, because maybe the problem is in my head, but I know where is the issues. I need to work for that, and I will try to clean it for the wards. But in general, everything is good. I'm healthy and feeling grateful for that.
And as we swung around the table there, Ramsey, that was basically your sound check, sir. How we sounding? All righty. So when you guys got to the actual event itself, this one was a little different, right? We had some veterans of Sheffield, like Emil Gustav, obviously, returning champion. But we also had some new people here. Perk, Russell, and amongst the ladies as well. Before the event started, floating around the hotel, how did it feel? What was the vibe for you guys? Did it feel familiar? Did it feel new and fresh? Gustav, how was that for you?
That's actually one of the perks, I would say, with this
Fun.
competition. Yeah, it's like you come here and everybody's here. You meet everybody, and I thought it was a good mood and stuff. Some people you always see, of course, are very nervous. But in general, it's like you walk down here in the lobby, there's like, oh, there's that guy, there's that guy, there's that guy. There's so much people to talk to, and it's such like good. It's like coming to your second home, I feel like.
Yeah.
You have all the buds here, and I really enjoy like doing this meet because of that. And I try to emphasize, even if it's like pressure, I try to emphasize like it's just an honor to be invited and to be back, and to be able to have this opportunity to meet with everybody, be in this hotel, this good place. It's like it's very good.
Yeah, it is. Because it's fewer people, it's a more intimate gathering.
Yeah.
Like you come down to the hotel lobby and you'll see like everybody there.
And it's the best of the best.
That's right.
It's not just like some random people who are like, yeah, I'm new to lifting. It's like, yeah, hello. But it's like the OG guys are here. And that's a special feeling. You don't get that everywhere.
And for you, because you've done this before, were you like less nervous? You know what to expect. And some of these people who showed up had no idea what to expect.
Yeah, of course, that gave me confidence. And I knew like I'm really strong going into this. So I had super good confidence. I was like, I'm ready to execute.
I was mentioning on the commentary, when Evie Corrigan, I remember year one, she was the first one to come out. If not the first one of them anyways. And the expression on her face when she met the crowd was like, oh my God. Because it's the first. And then this time, because she's been to all three, she came out and it was kind of like, hello. How you doing? How you doing? I'm going to do my thing.
Yeah.
And it was, you can read about it. You can watch videos, whatever. You have to live it. You have to live it. And maybe this is the perfect cue up for you, Kjell, who you'd been here, like you said, as a coach, which helps. You were here as a reserve, so you've been here a couple times. How much different was it to come out here as an athlete?
I think I got the shock for the first time when I was here with Monica. When we went out on the first squad, it was like, whoa, this is something else. So that wasn't really that bad going out there. I was ready for that. The thing that I wasn't ready for was how quiet it was in the warm-up area, because every guy who was down there were just looking at the screen to watch the ladies. So to go from having no focus at all because everyone else was just looking at something else to have 2,400 people watching.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a big contrast, but yeah, it was. It felt really good having that much people cheering for you. So I knew that even if the warm-up isn't that great, it would be super great out there.
And how did your warm-ups feel? Or actually, you know what? Sorry, let's backtrack to that weigh-in because there's a story there. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So I think 3 or 4 hours before the meet start, I was down in weight at the hotel there. At the scale there, I was 65.9. So I started drinking a little. Just checked the weight after every time I drank around 100 milliliter. So I was underweight going up to the venue. Then I go on the scale, and I'm suddenly 65.1. And then I get a little angry because if I knew this morning, I really didn't need to be in the bathtub and everything to get down. But then they calibrate the weight. And suddenly, when this was my turn, I went on the scale and I was 66.3.
Oh God.
So, yeah. Then I got angry again because because I was in weight. It was the correct one, and they calibrated it, but they used the weight wasn't big enough when they calibrated it. So I just needed to run and spit, and I got down, but it was a little unnecessary. Yeah, but and the same happened with Jurins, and I saw that Jurins really got into him, and I was like, okay, this is annoying, but let's just try focusing on the meat. And after that, I really didn't think about it.
I mean, that's the benefit of being a seasoned veteran.
Yeah.
Or some people might rattle them.
Yeah, you never know what's happening, and you just have to be aware that everything can happen.
You can't be a victim about it. You can't be like, this happened to me, and now you carry it on with you.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. There's so much left on the meat, so I didn't think more about it.
No, you shook it off fast.
Yeah.
It was like, gone, you eat, and you're like, no, let's go.
Yeah.
Did you have like fewer like minutes in between because you had to weigh in twice, like just a recomp?
Yeah. So we had to fasten that a little up. So maybe that had something to do with my deadlift later on, but we can come to that when it's later. Yeah.
We'll walk through it.
Yeah.
Emil, what was your impression of when you showed up at the venue and when you were looking around and you had some old faces, some new faces in the warm-up room and at the weigh-ins?
So I've been there for the first Sheffield. The first Sheffield for everyone is a little bit nervous because we didn't expect anything. So yeah, this is the third Sheffield. I see the difference in the venue, at the stage, at the media. Everyone is like a friendly conversation. So I don't feel any pressure when speak with opponents or something like that.
You felt looser this time, you think?
No.
No? You're like, I didn't go that far.
But you looked really calm. You looked like
yeah.
So it was good.
I'm really enjoyable this this prep in general. Feeling really calm when I been there. It's not a little bit nervous. Cut is very really easy because at Lithuania I did extremely cut for a hot bath or something like that. So now it's pretty chill, and yeah, I have a positive vibe, and it's a little bit improvement each year for Sheffield.
So let's talk about the squats, gentlemen. Gustav, how were squats for you? And were you, walk us through your squats. And were you paying attention to Emil or anyone else squatting at that point in time?
No, I try not to like look at the scoreboards and stuff. I only do like my thing. So I was only focusing on my program and what I had set up. And I mean, my squats have improved a lot. And I feel like I probably have 340 in me, I think. And I'm really proud of how squats have progressed. So I see a bright future there. And 335 is not a bad squat in 93, I think.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So I'm happy with that, actually, really happy. And it felt like, it didn't feel weird or anything. It felt like good, solid. So it's, maybe I could have gone 2.5 more, but I think it was a good call still.
Yeah, and that was the plan going in, or that was the plan?
The plan was 335 or 337.5.
Okay,
Was the plan. So with that we executed well.
okay, yeah. And at this point, you're not at all taking, not even a mill, but like any of the other competitors. You're just complete blinders and just moving forward on your own.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, I tried not to like get at that time. I don't want to get involved in lifting. Basically, then I do my thing with the bench squats. Of course, the last deadlifts are more important, but we will get to that later.
Yeah. For sure. And how about you, Kjell?
The thing about like this meet that we really didn't know, right? How will the body feel? How will the belt feel? But I think that warm-up was okay. Did 220, felt amazing. 235 didn't look that good, so we were like, are we starting on 242 or 245? And we wanted to squat around 260 at least. And we hit 257, so we're really happy with that. And the second lift was a real grinder, and the third as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with the squats.
Did you feel, was this what you expected? Did you feel like, oh, that's a little bit more work? Because sometimes when you do a big cut, you get stronger as the day goes, as you eat more food, drink more water, etc. How did they feel like that?
I just think that for the last maybe 4 or 5 weeks, the fatigue level just in life has been so really high. So I think that I knew that I wouldn't squat 270, right? But still, I think the squat was okay, but I felt I was a little tired, of course. But it's not that long ago I used 14 seconds to get up to 50 in Malta in the 74s.
Right,
So I'm happy. And I know that when I adapt to this class, like for Worlds, I will do even better.
And obviously, you're right. There was tons of talk about you coming into the 66s and tons of talk about you, period, coming to Sheffield. Were you seeing some of these people down in the warm-up area, like Matt Gary, Penna, but everybody? Was it awkward? Was it motivational? What was that like?
I didn't really think about it. I thought about just get the most out of what I can squat and bench, and when it comes to deadlift, then I will try to just focus on everything else. So yeah, it really doesn't matter who's there.
And were you watching anybody else when you're squatting, paying attention to if they're hitting and missing?
No, I only watched Gustav and Jurins because they were on the same platform as me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. How about the women's, or no, just no time?
My plan was to watch the women's just between, but when I got there, I just tried to focus on myself.
It'd be very difficult. Talk about being distracted. You kind of got a job ahead of you.
yeah. I had a big job, and of course I felt the pressure, and I just needed to focus right.
Yeah, fair enough. And when you went out there, now these other gentlemen have squatted at Sheffield before. When you went out there and that crowd popped, and you're hitting double biceps and you're doing the whole nine, what did that feel like when the crowd received you onto the platform for the first time? You'd been there as a coach, you'd been there as an alternate, and now you're there not only as an athlete, but it's the heavy favorite.
Yeah, it felt so good. And it was a pressure as well, because I think the last 10 messages on Instagram was like, I don't need to wish you good luck. You're going to win anyway. I'm like, okay, thanks. So no pressure.
Yeah.
Well, it felt great. The thing I can feel it the most is on the lift off, right? It feels so much easier up there than down in the basement. Yeah. So I felt it right there. Okay, I'm stronger here than I was downstairs. So I knew that there was more kilos. And even if a lift got it get heavy, I just adjust some.
Isn't it amazing how sometimes like that can happen with adrenaline, where you could be in the warm-up room, be like, oh my God, I'm not sure. You hit the platform, the adrenaline hits, you're like, okay, we're all right.
Yeah.
Well, adrenaline is the best pre-workout you could ask for.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah. How about you, Emil? How did your squats go? How did you feel while squatting? And were you paying attention to anyone else?
So the first squats is moving really great because we're checking the speed for a velocity when we warm up at dawn. get down. So the speed is very good. Warm up is have a more speed in normal in training. So each warm up felt perfect. We increased the first attempt because the original plan is 290, but it increased at 5 kilos. So the first attempt is a little bit stressful for me because I need to execute it well and check the platform for the first attempt. But yeah, after the first attempt, when moving is great, feeling like an empty bar, and build the confidence with each attempt. So I will have more strength for 2 kilos and half or 5. Yeah.
You know, it's interesting when you say like checking the platform. And I don't know if you gentlemen do this. Matt Gary says he likes to bring his athlete out onto the platform. So it's not the first time you get out there isn't when it's a full crowd and you're about to squat. He always tries to bring him out there a little bit before, walk the platform, check it out, take a look at the audience if there's anyone there, just kind of like get a little bit more familiar. So it's the second time you come up. Did you do that or no? That was the first time.
Actually, it's the second time because I firstly check it, but when the hall is fully crowded, it's a little bit different.
So you go back out there again.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense. So you're not like, you know, you're more acclimatized. Do you guys do that at all?
You can take it first.
It's if it's possible, but I don't think I've done that actually.
You don't care. It's the Terminator.
If you walk by, but it's like sometimes it's not so easy to go up to the platform. But I've never really thought about that in that manner. But I've always had like the approach of I visualize it mentally, like walking out to the platform for the first time. But as I've done this for 11 years, maybe it's different. I don't maybe think about it the same way.
Well, the visualization tool's probably very similar. Though,
Yeah,
actually,
exactly. So it's and as I've done it for so long, maybe my visualization is like doing that.
Right. All right. How about yourself, Kjell?
I think I've been doing that since 2009, 10 or something.
Physically walking out?
Yeah, just go out and just try to look, where can I look at in a squat, right? Where is the place to look? But of course there's more light, more people and everything. And there are probably just black points that you can look at, but I think it's a good thing to just see it beforehand.
Did you walk out there, eye somebody with a French flag? Like, I'm a double bicep pose. This dude.
I didn't see the French flag.
They took him down when you went out there because they were out there.
They switch Norwegian flag.
Where is the Norwegian flag?
He had a Swedish flag. Yeah, he had a Bulgarian flag. He was hitting all them all. So squats went by. Let's move into the bench press now. At the bench press, Gustav, how were you feeling? Walk us through the bench press for yourself.
I started with a warm up, and I felt like, oh, this is good. My chest isn't hurting, and this is like what I wanted to feel like. So we did a warm up. I warmed up to like 195 or something. Moved good. Then went up, and the only thing that I thought about the bench, it was that we did the hard pad. We didn't have the soft pad as we had at Worlds, and my new gym has the soft pad. But I was like, for me it's a problem on the hard pad to do reps. As long as it reps, it's bad. But a single as we compete in, then I would say that it's okay to do on the hard pad. And for me to end up with 220, the game plan was 220 or like 222.5. So I'm happy with 220. That's a PB for me with like 2 kilos or something.
So leaving the bench press event, to your estimation, right on track.
Yeah, right on track. Because it was like if bench press feels extremely good, then we can put 222.5. But I didn't want to, as I've had the problems earlier. And jump start command and stuff fooled around. So I was like, I don't want to push bench too much. That's stupid. I've done that before. I don't want to do it again. So that went very accordingly to me.
And Kjell, bench press for you, kind of like the weigh-ins. There was a little bit of if you weren't a veteran of like 20 years, your first Sheffield appearance, there's been a couple of things now that have hit you. Talk about that.
Yeah, I think that just the change of body weight and just have a look right. And the thing about being lighter, I feel that I can arch more. I feel looser. So warm up was good. Last warm up at 185 wasn't that great. So we went down from 192 that we was usually starting on to go down to 190. Went out, wasn't the greatest start. On the second lift, I didn't get the start command, and they said it was the elbow that wasn't straight. That's really weird. It's probably because I have some guns that don't lie.
I noticed you were like, "Is it my elbow?" And my man is flexing his tricep all over the place.
But we saw in the video it was probably the bum that was a little up on the side. I think I just wanted so much that the bench. I wanted it to be so good, so I probably tried to arch more and more and more. And yeah, I couldn't really feel the ass in the bench. So yeah, I got a little angry about that. Went out, got out on the third one, and tried to don't use that much time. Got start command right away, and it wasn't super easy, but I could probably have benched 200 that day.
So that's a conversation sometimes where if you don't get something due to a technicality, that you didn't even have an attempt at it, did it ever cross your mind to move up anyways? Or you're like, no. Especially given it's a new weight class and it's bench.
Yeah. We needed the kilos, and I didn't know where Austin was because I thought he was the biggest competitor. So we were just focused on getting lifts. That was the most important things. We didn't want to raise the weights when we didn't even get to try. That was just stupid.
Yeah, I think that was a good idea. Look at 9 times out of 10, I would say if you miss a weight, just retake that weight.
Yeah.
Every now and then, though, I do understand that if it's a super tight battle and the lifter is like, if I don't keep pace and move up anyways, I'm going to fall behind. And I would rather attempt to keep pace or just straight up not make it. It's like, there's do or die. Chance Mitchell did it actually in the 93s back in 2022. He missed, went up on the weight.
Lift or second?
I can't remember now if it was a squat.
Yeah, the squat.
It was a
What's the
squat.
squats? Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You were there. Yeah, for sure. You would know. You came in.
I'm losing for 1 kilo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, and he was like, no, I have to keep pace. I can retake this weight, but
He increased at each attempt.
That's right. And sometimes like I get that too, every now and then, but it's a dicey game. You really got to think about it.
Yeah, and I just wanted to have good lifts. So yeah, I think 195 was good enough, and I can just take 200 at a later meet.
Fair enough. And how about yourself, Emil? Obviously, bench press, a very strong event for you. How did the bench press feel for you?
So the warm-up is moving pretty well, because usually I'm not using combo racks just because we don't have competition equipment in Bulgaria so much. So the problem is soft pad. Maybe it's not comfortable for me, but the warm-up is moving pretty well. We didn't drop any new plan or something like that. We opened it 227.5, move it pretty well, jump to 7 kilos, and for the second it's not feeling really great, but in general I expected to push it 240. That's like a minimum weight, because I'm pressed more than 10 times. It's not impressive so much for me, but I think it's a little bit strength is not there.
And was it shocking to you, or were you like, all right, well, it is what it is, squats went well?
Yeah, maybe squat affect a little bit the bench, but in training I did the first squat heavy, then bench heavy, so I will continue to focusing on the deadlift. So don't overthink so much about what is happening.
And when I was, side note, when I was at the meet and greet, there was people from Bulgaria who were down there and we're like, hey, we listen to King of the Lifts. I'm like, holy shit, really? And like, yeah, we're from Bulgaria. And there are people flying from Bulgaria to watch this event.
Yeah, it's crazy because I have watched so much people coming to screaming for me.
Like, how does it feel knowing that people from your country, this is like a real sport now. You guys have been around long before we got to this level where people are flying in from other countries, buying tickets just to root for you guys. Like, how surreal is that?
The feeling is unbelievable. I can't find any words just to say it's beautiful. It's beautiful for the sport. And people who love the powerlifting and have a passion for that sport, coming from Peru or something like that, different destination, flying 20 hours flight and watching you, it's really impressive.
Yeah, there's people flying from New Zealand.
Yeah.
Insane flights. Just
Like
to get
2
here.
days.
Yeah, 2-day flight just to watch you guys. All right, let's get to the deadlifts, my friend. Well, what was going on in the deadlifts? How'd they feel? And let's talk about attempt selection. And now, you must be paying attention to what's going on, or what happened?
Yeah, a little bit. I pay a little bit more attention to deadlifts. Okay. That we warmed up for deadlifts, of course, and I felt super strong. I felt like, fuck, I got this. This is strong day. Really confident. We had a good time, me and Kjell, at our platform.
Yeah, we had. As we always do. Yeah.
And I was feeling very good, very confident. And when when we went up and I did my opener, and it was super easy. I was like, yeah, this is good. And then we went 355, and that was very, very good as well. Very good. But for the third attempt, our game plan was like 365, 362.5, or 367.5. I said, like, I don't want to go higher than 367.5 because that's way too much. I'm not comfortable pulling more than that. We don't put this weight. But as Emil missed his second deadlift, Alex thought that it was a good call to put 360 for some reason. And he didn't consult me of what way. I said to him, like, we put 362.5, right? And because I know I have it. And he said, like, oh, I put 360. And I was like, what? Why did you put that weight? And then it was like, yeah, go out and pull. And I felt, this is wrong. Why isn't it 362.5? I have not agreed to this weight choice. And I was like, I knew, like, this is going to cost me. I felt it.
Really? Before, like, you already knew?
Yeah, because I wanted 362.5 or 365. That was our game plan, but he changed it. And afterwards, he was like, oh, I'm sorry. Maybe I did something stupid now. And I looked at him and I was like, and then I looked at Emil and I was like, okay, now we're seeing weight. And now we see the outcome.
And obviously 360 felt like, how did it feel when you hit that?
It felt good. And I watched the clips afterwards and it moved. I definitely would have had 362.5, maybe even 365, I think.
370, I think. Thank you, more for sure.
370 would probably have come up a long way, but I would have dropped it in the top.
62 or 65.
Yeah, definitely I would have had
Looking
that.
very strong.
Yeah, exactly. I felt the strongest I've ever been in my life. And I was like, if we're going to gamble to one day, it's this day. And I didn't get the weight I wanted. And I haven't actually spoken to Alex since. I'm going to talk to him after this. So we will see.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you already know because you've been around the block, but there's going to be more competition.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like, for me, it's more like if I had gotten to go 362.5, 365, and Emil would have pulled over me, then I would have been more satisfied, more happy.
Right.
Because then I would have put my weight that I wanted, and then he pull and he win, then like, oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Or even if you pulled
and
365.
and dropped it, because then I had to say my saying. Now I did. It was like he ran over me.
Right. No, that's understandable. How about?
Shall we take Emil because of it's the same class?
You know what? That's a good idea. Yeah, you're the co-host now. You got Emil. How did you feel about deadlifts?
For the disc prep, we changed it for the deadlift frequency for 3 times per week. So it's a little bit improving my technique in general, my grip, because I have issues 2 years since from Malta. And I'm feeling really great in the warm-up. The speed is very good at the first attempt. The second attempt, I don't know what is happening. I received the front judge, the blue card. It's not locked shoulders. It's okay for me. I just rewatch it after this. We protested, but we don't have any chance to make it at the good lift. I don't think so. But we put 360 because the Gustav, the first, he put it 357. So I need to pull 2 kilos more from him. But we changed the attempt for the last deadlift, 12 times. He mentioned that have a little bit wrong conversation with coach, but Kedrick, we speak for all or nothing, 365.
Yeah,
I can't believe it. I can't believe it. What is happening? But when I did the weight, the bar is around my knees. It's not stuck it. It's moved. I feel it. Receive down command. I continue it for a crown. Continue it. I don't care what is the call for the judge. Continue it and receive second down command.
What? Really?
So I'm just waiting, watching. Maybe I'm going wrong.
You're gonna get a third?
Yeah. So what is happening? And yeah, I'm still can't believe what is happening. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy because we waiting 2 minutes jury watching the attempts and speaking, and what is happening? It's good lift. It's not good lift. It's overturned. What is happening? So they decided it's successful.
You know, okay, so I mean, this is a crazy story of. First off, from the commentary booth, I cannot hear the down commands, so I actually didn't know.
I don't. Maybe I can see the wrong, but decided to continue.
Yeah.
Just because I believe it, I can pull it.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how much it cost me, like 7 seconds or more or something like that. Just because I felt secure at my grip. And yeah, I can't believe it because when I lifted from the floor, it's felt really solid, but it's a little bit stuck for my quads. But the bar still moving, and it's feel really solid, I think, just for lying back with shoulders, trying to be more shoulders back because second is not passed.
I mean, to go out there and be like, I am not going to be denied. You tell me down, with all due respect, I'm completing this freaking lift.
Yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah.
Let me just do this for myself. If you're going to take it away from me afterwards, fine. But I am finishing this lift. And ironically, because it was that final lift that the world title slipped out of your hands in Lithuania, it's almost poetic in your story that for this to happen at Sheffield, you refuse and you're like, no. Not this time.
No.
I felt what
Or
that felt like
nothing.
last time. It feels horrible.
Yeah. Or nothing. That's I set up at my mind. Just do it for my grandfather because I promised it to him. After 3 years, he's passed, and I tell to him, I doing to proud for me one day. So I keep this visualization and just do it.
And as the jury's deliberating, talking amongst themselves, what are you thinking? Are you at peace with it? Or are you like, oh, please?
Man, I can't believe it. Yeah, it's crazy. It's still crazy. But the Gustav, it's really strong. He's more stronger than me.
You think so?
Yeah. Yesterday, he's more strong than me, for sure.
But in sports, this is the way it goes sometimes.
exactly.
Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
Emil, they did the right call.
Yeah.
Super good. And I was very happy for Emil. I was like, we were very friendly. So I was super happy for Emil.
You were maybe the strongest, but he was the best on the day.
Yeah, he was the best on the day.
Yeah, like at Lithuania, I'm the more strongest, but I can show my strength.
Yeah.
So he play safe, win the category at the Lithuania, and do the world title.
And of course, if I would have had my way with the weight calls yesterday, I think it would have been a different outcome. But I don't know, and I think Alex underestimated you. I didn't want to leave the door that open.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I was
Everything quick can happen with the last
yeah,
attempt.
and I was like, for me, I know Emil. He's strong. He's strong. You can't leave the door open like that. He will take he can. I was like, he can do that. I thought to myself, he can do it, and I felt it in my gut. Because Emil, he's working really hard and progressing. He does everything right. So I knew he's a dangerous opponent. He's really good. You can't leave the door that open, especially when you have, as strong as I was yesterday. There's no reason to go that safe.
You got to do like a
You're
mill,
at Sheffield.
all or nothing.
You're at Sheffield.
Exactly.
It's not playing for safe.
Yeah, if you're gonna gamble someday, it's here. So, but it was a really good meet yesterday. It's like
Absolutely. Look,
fantastic meet.
Gentlemen, you two have pushed each other so far that like to your point, you could tell by the way you guys tell the story, because you're both here, you're pushing each other.
Yeah.
And there's a duality. You'll feel bad for yourself, but you feel great for him at the same time. That's duality.
Yeah.
Where you could actually be like, genuinely feel good for you.
Yeah.
But genuinely, I feel bad for myself. And we all seen like what it must have felt like in Lithuania for you, and because Gustav's been around in the same shoes. You know, he knows of anyone in the world, he'll know exactly what you feel like. And on the flip side, what it meant, Gustav also knows what it feels like to finally reach that, because he felt that at Sheffield, and then at the World Championships, he had his moment. And you guys have both had your moments in your careers now. And now for yourself to be, oh my gosh, I am now officially the number 193. And you've been chasing that for so long. You've been number 2 and literally this close several times in your career.
Yeah.
How did it feel for yourself?
Actually, still can't fight any war. How can I feel? I need to work more in general. Doesn't take anything for a granted at the first place, because he will be back. He will be back.
He's mad. He's going to train today. Deadlifts.
He is mad. He is mad. I know it. I know that. He's working triple more time.
Yeah.
I need to more.
Triple steak.
Yeah. Triple rice.
That's right.
1 kilo a day now.
So I need to work harder. I need to work. Yeah.
Yeah. And I talked to Gustav like after the meet that he's really disappointed about the meet, but like both of them did over 900.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That's the new normal.
Yeah.
That's the new normal.
That's insane, right? So
it didn't even feel like maximum.
No.
So
it was maximum.
Future is good.
Yeah, and you know what? You guys are such a good rivalry, but a gentleman's rivalry, where you guys are like, fight like dogs to get to the top, push each other to the max. But at the same time, it is like gentlemanly. It doesn't have to be a dirty thing to be rivals. It's sports rivals, not life rivals.
Exactly.
It's a whole different situation, and you pull out the most out of each other, and it is riveting to watch. To watch you guys go toe to toe, and now you guys have had mixed results, back and forth, back and forth. We continue and we move forward. Before I get to you, Kjell, because we got a lot to unpack here for yourself and moving forward. What is the future plans? You're going to, I'm assuming, stay 93. You're a large 93. When we're in the lobby, people see you in real life. Some people who hadn't seen you in real life before, and they're like, God, Gustav's huge. You don't look like a 93.
Yeah, that's
120.
Exactly.
Okay.
But for me, it's like I have a really high combustion, or like I can eat. I usually eat like 3,800, 4,000 calories often in clean food. So it's like I still eat a lot. I can recover. I am in like a good spot still. And as I work with Kedrick for nutrition, he's like, you won't probably be. You will maybe have to go up in like a few years, he thinks, before it's become hard, because none of my cuts have been any hard, and I still evolve and develop. But of course I have a quite strict diet. It's not like I eat, as you maybe see from my Instagram stories, I eat a lot of steak and rice. So I eat very
rice
consistently, and it's like but for me that's easy. That's like I like it that way. I function well when I eat like that.
It's just like a lifestyle.
Yeah, it's a bit of a lifestyle, yeah. So that works easy for me. Many other people would probably not like it. But I think that has been a good... When I started working with Kedrick for the nutrition, because if you're like me, a bigger person in a weight class, or just at the end, I think I'm quite on the end of the spectrum. I have to go up eventually. But you have to be picky about what you eat, what sources of carbs, proteins, fat, and like you have to have a good understanding of what you get from what you eat. So you can't like, now I eat only potatoes, now I eat that. You have to be very picky, and you have to have good help to maintain that, which I have gotten from him. So that has been the key for me to staying and continuing, and of course be able to make weight in a good way and keep energized. It's not easy, but with his help, it has worked.
And you're looking forward, obviously, the next step for you is Worlds, World Games. Yeah. As a 93. And as you look at USA, this is kind of where it's interesting, because USA has so many phenomenal lifters. You guys have probably seen Jonathan Keiko is returning, hitting some fantastic numbers in the gym. Gavin Aiden, you guys have moved past his world record, but there's Gavin. There's a couple lifters who came over from the USAPL. They had a 90 kilo category, so they're just filling out the 93s. So we'll see what happens there. But will you be watching the US Nationals to see who US produces?
Yeah, definitely. It will be interesting to see. But I think that I'm not sure that they will like beat me or Emil. I'm not so sure about that, actually.
Well, I'm not so sure about that either, sir.
I think me and Emil, we have pushed each other so far, and we do this so seriously, both of us. So
You're
I think
the top
that
dogs now.
Perhaps it is like that. We will see, because for them to push like we had done, and none of us have we both have some room to grow. I'm not so sure actually that they can push us so much.
Yeah, well, I mean, you won the world title with an American there, and you guys made it to Sheffield, and an American didn't, because you guys made it here. Like, this is,
and now we have increased it another 20 kilos.
Right.
Like, so we have increased it.
And there's not an American on this podium, fellas.
Nope.
No, where are the Americans? I can't see them.
That's right. That's right. And for yourself, Emil, the future, I'm assuming as well, now that you've reached this goal, what other goals left do you have? How does it feel? It's got to be, I'm assuming, World Games, and you're comfortable as a 93 yourself?
For this prep, I'm very comfortable to staying in the class, but in the future, for a longevity for the sport, like and for health in general, just injuries, inflammation, something like that. Just to find more enjoyment in the sports, I think I will switch it for 105. But it's matter of the time. It's matter of the time. I don't have any fixed years just to change it. Just when I feel it, when I feel my body need to eat more, and I have a room to improve myself. I feel it like a more sleep, more quality food, second rice.
Yes.
The Gustav would teach me how to cook a steak, and yeah, that's it.
It'd be funny. It'd be hilarious if you guys meet each other in the 105s. Like, oh my god, here we go again.
Yeah.
You guys move up at the same time. And before I throw out the shell, talk about deadlifts and everything surrounding all of this. So you guys obviously, eventually you moved to 95s, and in the rivalry that you guys have had. A quick question, and I'm curious at this. It means a lot to be the number one in your division. Would it mean more to you? I'll ask both of you, but I'll ask you first, Gustav. Would it mean more to you to be the number 193 at Sheffield, or would you give up a podium spot to be the number 193?
You mean at the Worlds?
Here at Sheffield. To be, because there's obviously there's the 93s and then there's the podium. So which one, if you had to choose?
Here I would probably say I would go for the podium. I think I would go for the podium.
Yeah. And how about yourself, Emil? Would you swap spots or keep the number 193?
I think for a podium too.
Yeah.
Because the Sheffield is like you have a different opponents. It's not about only 93 battle, and it's a little bit different. Just choice the podium.
Because to make that podium, we were talking a lot about Agatha doing a repeat at Sheffield and just how difficult it is to be a repeat champion given the formula. It shows how much you can improve within a year. But I actually said during the medal ceremony for yourself, Gustav, how difficult it could be to win Sheffield and even return and still make the podium the very next year.
Yeah, I don't think that's super often that happens.
That's impressive.
Or will happen.
Yeah.
So it was a really hard fight.
Hard fight. I think as we look back, it's going to be less and less common. And that feat, just yourself winning, returning, and hitting the podium once again, will gain more and more credit as time goes by. Okay, Kjell. Let's talk about your deadlifts. Let's talk about, and then we'll take it off from there, and the repercussions. And when you look back, I'm also going to get your guys' opinion on everybody else's performances and any surprises you had. But let's talk about your deadlifts.
Yeah, the warm-up for deadlifts was really great. It felt so good. Like I had last attempt, the warm-up was 290, just flew.
And how big?
You saw it, right? He didn't saw it.
It's too fast. It's too fast.
It was too fast.
Yeah,
I was there.
Gustav is the ultimate wingman when he's like, it was too fast for me. I blinked and I missed it. That's how quick it is.
Yeah.
I think I saw the end of it.
Yeah.
You looked at me like, I was like.
I gave the thumbs up. Well, what do you think your body weight was by the time deadlifts rolled around? You were an 83, 93?
I really didn't think it was that bad.
It was heavier than me.
That's right. That's right.
I was probably around 68 or something. Yeah, it wasn't that bad. The problem came when I got up, really, and drinking a lot of Vitargo to like recomp, and it felt like I was throwing up all the time. So when I got out on the platform, and I was starting to pull, it felt like, okay, if I pull now, I will throw up. So when I was standing there for maybe 15 seconds before I started pulling, it was like, try to find an interval when there's less, like, it feels less like you're throwing up.
My God, would that be a viral moment?
Yeah, but like, you can see it on my face that I will, like, blow up in my face. Like,
really?
Yeah. So that was really, it felt really bad. And we discussed like, do we start on 302.5? Because if we did that, Austin needed 345, I think, and he was the closest one at that time, and all the others needed to at least go up 30 kilos in their deadlift, and still there wasn't a chance really. But we went to 308 just because I wanted to pull a lot that day, and 308 was fine, but it was heavier because of the thing. And the same thing happens when the second as well, and I didn't straight out my hips enough. I didn't get that, and that's okay. For the third one, I loosened up the belt a little and widened the grip, and then it was okay. I'm a little angry I didn't get like 325, 330, but I'll just take it next time.
In that final pull?
Yeah, on the 317, on the final pull, it felt okay, but I almost threw up at that as well. So, yeah, it got more heavier than it should have been. So I felt really strong. I really didn't feel like in 66 at that time. So, yeah, it was just bad luck, really.
Yeah. And was it, in terms of like the lockout, the shoulders, etc., what were your thoughts all around that?
On the third lift, it was really good. But to just try to focus on not throwing up was the bigger focus for me.
It was like a distraction.
Yeah, it was a really big distraction.
Yeah.
So we just have to figure that out for the next meet.
Yeah, and these are like you could do a test cut in terms of that, but when you're recomping and your body's under duress, adrenaline hits the stomach. These are things that you can't.
Yeah, we need to rush the recomp because I had less time because of the 2 times the weigh-in. So next time we will do different.
And when you did hit the last deadlift,
yeah,
and it was all over, and you knew you were Sheffield champion, how did it feel?
It felt really good, and I was planning to like go and take like what is it called when you're take the
a backflip?
Yeah, backflip. Yeah.
Shit, can you backflip?
No, I can't. But if I was standing like was trying to do it, and I would just visualizing in my head that and you were just like, he's going to do a backflip, and I'm like, no.
It would be amazing if you attempted a backflip
and throw up.
and then
throw up at the same time.
If you attempted a backflip, failed and barfed on yourself, I'd be like, well, that is the viral. Yeah. I go, well, ladies and gentlemen, you're Sheffield champion as you lay with barf all over yourself. Yeah,
I jumped over the bar.
You did. Yeah.
Yeah, I tried to be a little more. Give a little more from myself this time instead of just using 40 seconds walking out, deadlift, and do this and go out again. So I tried to like make a show. Yeah.
And I mean, you've been doing this for 20 years, and this is like the pinnacle of pinnacles. Gustav can tell you, he felt it. Yeah. I still remember you taking off your belt. You did the same thing when you won Worlds, and it's like, you couldn't believe it. You thought, okay, we're celebrating because I won the battle in 93s. No, I won Sheffield. For yourself, all these years, when powerlifting was like the nichest of niche sports, people thought if you tell someone you powerlift, they think you're a bodybuilder. To now be here winning Sheffield, an event where thousands of people cheering, you lived up to the hype, and you're like, oh my God, it's happened. This is really happening right now.
Yeah, but people already think I'm a bodybuilder. Didn't you see my physique?
That's no lie.
I think that if I deadlifted around, if I did the 800 yesterday, or if I pulled 330 or something, it will felt different because when I got 317, I was like, yeah, okay, I'm relieved that I got it. But I really wanted to do like, Matthias Steiner in the 2008 Olympic. You remember that?
No, tell me.
I think before his prep for the Olympics, his wife died in a car accident or something. Yeah. And when he wins that against the Russian Shigishev, and he just jumps around there and rips off his singlet, and yeah. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
You want that moment. I think maybe when I win Sheffield next time,
this is it. Well, you know what? a good showman always leaves them wanting more.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
Now, if I do 800 next time, that's 3%.
And so there you go. Yeah, it's a monster jump and record break. And now that it's all been said and done, and you're officially a 66, you've accomplished it. How did it feel? You feel good? You feel like, hey, look, I can maintain this for Worlds. Obviously, you're talking about another Sheffield. Is this your new home? Is this, no, this is one more year, one more go around? Or what is it looking like for you?
I did what to say. I said, I fucking told you so.
That's for Matt Gary, by the way.
Yeah, that's Matt Gary.
That's right.
That's for you.
Did you find Matt Gary?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I talked to him and he was like, yeah, you had right.
He
Right.
told me too. I think.
Yeah. Yeah. And he also said like, if you didn't get your last deadlift, you would been on 760 because he said 750 to 760. And I thought about that on the last.
Did
deadlift.
you really?
If I didn't get this, I will have 750, 760, and he would be right.
Oh my God! Can you imagine?
Yeah.
His head would be the size of this table.
Yeah.
Right?
So that was important to do that.
That
So,
was very important. That was pivotal.
yeah. That was the most important thing of the meet.
Yeah, no kidding. And as you look forward to the future, obviously, you're looking at World Championships, you're looking at World Games, you're looking at Sheffield all over again. And 66 is the new home, daddy's home.
Yeah.
Acclimatize yourselves and get used to it.
My goal is to win everything this year: Europeans, Worlds, World Games, and Nationals.
Before I was talking to Taylor Atwood, you're familiar, and Taylor told me before you even won Sheffield, and this is Taylor Atwood, I was saying, I think in the classic era, you would have the best resume. Like I told Taylor, like I think you would have the best resume. But Kjell has dropped the 66 and has an opportunity here to become a two-weight class world champ, Sheffield champ, and World Games is now rolled around, etc. So he's got an excellent opportunity to possibly stake his claim for this. And Taylor said, I think he might already be in that place due to also having equipped World Games, and he squeezed those two together. But let's say now you don't squeeze those two together and we just focus on classic. What do you think you need to do to have the best resume of your era? Because you've got a couple world titles now.
Yeah. Or I just got one in the classic. Yeah.
Sorry. Sheffield, a world title in 2017, and yeah.
I just want to say one thing about the equipped, because every new one that is coming in now is like, oh, equipped is so little. But at the time when I was the best in equipped, that was the only thing.
It was
And
hard.
it was hard because you had people, like people in Russia, they had like 100,000 lifters trying to be the best of the best. So the level was sky high. But of course, people are stronger now because people know more. People know more about nutrition, training, everything. So things are different now.
Mm-hmm.
So when people say that equipped sucked back then or they're doing now, yeah, the level has dropped. But at that time, it was insane for that time. But when it comes to the classic and now and everything, and I think I need more world titles to be in the. Give me 3 years.
Yeah.
And give me 3 world titles more and 1 or 2 world games.
God,
And
they're 4 years
Sheffields.
apart, sir. Yeah, I mean, by then, it should be a wrap by then.
It should be a wrap. But of course, I'm not like the same as Taylor. I'm not that kind of maybe personality or that kind of hype on social media.
I don't know about that.
I'm trying to.
This
be. I'm
last
trying to
year,
be. I'm trying.
I don't know.
I did my part to hype as much as
You
possible.
you did phenomenal.
with the life I have and the possibilities that I have.
Right. No, you did amazing. When I think about when you first reemerged, if you will, I remember in Malta, you were in the B group and you told me it's not going to be this way next year.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be in the B group again. And when after Malta, you took the 74 kilo world title and then you bumped it up again. You bumped it up a couple of times. And Perk is like, Jesus, man, Sheffield's coming around, relax. And then it became, is this checkers or chess? Because you dropped down and literally hurt his chances for Sheffield by bumping up the 74, dropped down a weight class, and went at that world record. Like, oh, I'm not saying this is like a 2-year plan you had. Maybe it was. It's a better story.
Remember, I was telling you at the first Sheffield that I wanted to win Sheffield?
Yes.
I told you at the banquet in 2023.
Yeah. Was this always what you were thinking?
The plan wasn't to be a 66, but my plan is always to win.
Right.
Yeah, and now we're here.
This is true. Well, this is true. This is true. It's a legendary story, and it's funny how for a lot of people, powerlifting, we have so many new people, and the turnover is a couple years. So these people, when you first came around and reemerged as a 74, it was the Europeans, I think, and you took the world record and brought it up to 800 kilos as a 74. Broke it again later on, of course. But people were like, oh, who's this new guy? And then for all of us who were around, we're like, new guy.
New guy.
Oh,
He's the old guy.
Yeah.
I am the old guy.
He's been around so long, the old guy's the new guy.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
But I think it's a bit of ignorance.
Right.
People who say that.
Right.
And it's a bit like they try to push you down.
Yeah, of course. And
Admittedly.
we had like people like Taylor, people like Perk too, is like the unbelievable talents, right? And yeah, of course it's difficult to fight against the people like that. But I've beaten Taylor. Well, I did beat Perk yesterday.
Oh, that's true.
I did.
Yeah.
He isn't here.
That's right. That's true.
So I'm really happy about that, and I really hope that you will have Pana on the podcast.
I'm going
because
to.
I really want his comment about how am I as a lifter in 66.
Right. Well, I think he's going to give you high praise now. You passed the grades.
Yeah, I hope.
We find them outside their lobby.
Yeah, then they should tell me.
Yeah, we talk about people who didn't know, but I think honestly, it's kind of cool how they find out about you. Like Taylor Atwood would come on the podcast and see you remerge and be like, all right, a guy from my generation. It's funny how previously you guys were rivals. And I remember back King of the Lifts 2017, 18, 19, when you guys were coming on the podcast, getting spicy with each other. And then God, we're almost 10 years later. And now you guys are like, come on, go get him for me, man. Like you guys are both, you guys are not even, neither one of you are 74s anymore. He went up, you went down. And now you guys are, you remember like fond memories. Taylor would come on the podcast and be like, if they don't know about him, they're going to find out. And Perk himself said, I'm not looking, I know who he is. I don't give a shit if the new people to the sport don't know. I know who Kjell is. He comes from the equip side as well. Yeah. He took you seriously enough at the World Championships to be like, I'm taking all my lifts. Thank you very much. I'm not walking away, leaving it. He knows the deadlift you had. Matt Gary too.
I'm glad it did.
Yes, yeah. That's a sign of respect.
Yeah.
Don't dance on me like that. Don't style on me. And that's also to Matt Gary's credit. Matt Gary said, I know the deadlifter that Kjell is. We're taking all of our freaking attempts too. But yeah, it must be, how do you rank this amongst all your other accomplishments from damn near 20 years?
This is the biggest one. Because I don't think there's been no one that had the pressure that I had to this meet. Because I was so cocky as well. I'm not usually that cocky. I should be American right now.
Yeah.
There's actually an American here right now.
Yeah.
And I think that I had the pressure all along. I needed to do a big weight cut from 80 kilos. And I did what I said. I didn't do 800, but I did good enough.
Right.
So people can always say, yeah, you didn't do 800, you suck. Yeah, okay.
I don't think anyone's saying you suck. That's strong.
You only increased by 6% or whatever.
Yeah.
You didn't do 10%.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about the rest of Sheffield. Any surprises for you guys? Men's, women's? What are your thoughts?
I think Russ did really well.
I was just about to say, what are your thoughts on the Russ performance?
He just looks so freakishly strong. It's just everything. And he benched 200.
Yeah, his bench has improved so much.
Yeah, that was impressive. So he did really well.
He improved so much science words. I
Yeah.
think he's improving body composition and body weight, I think.
Mm.
That it leads high competition standards, and the results is very good. I think strength is there for us. Yeah.
You bring up the competition standards, and that really was a huge, for a guy who's a 2-time world champion, that was a huge question mark around Russ, and he had to eat that from worlds all the way to now. He took so much abuse online. People were like dancing in the streets when he lost. You become a victim of your own success. If you're too successful for too long, you're like the Yankees in baseball where like, I can't wait. Somebody just beat him. They start rooting against you. Eventually, it's the way it goes. And when he eventually lost, my God, people were like, yeah, he can't meet the world standards. It's not going to happen for him. And for that rematch with Jurens, oh, by the way, we'll throw in Ade, the new young upstart. Oh, by the way, it's in their backyard in the UK. Like it was so you travel time zone the whole 9. They don't. They wake up and all the talk around the standards, etc. For Russ, in terms of if this is a movie, it gets no sweeter than that moment he just had. It was pretty big. The only piece, of course, would be if he would have got that last deadlift.
Yeah. But if Ade got his last deadlift, would he have beaten Russ?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
However, if Russ got his last deadlift, by no chance, Ade had no chance.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
if you play for one, you have to play for the other.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I think the Russ comeback was a big one.
Yeah.
And obviously, I got the Shitko is
And these fellas?
I mean, for sure. These, yeah, like we said, obviously everybody on the panel right now, phenomenal showings. On the women's side, I got the Shitko's an absolute freak. I have no. I'm running out of words to use for her. It's crazy.
Yeah, she's a machine.
Real machine.
Yeah, I think she might actually three-peat if she comes back as a 76, because the 76 kilo world record is lower than the 69 kilo class. So she gets to gain weight and have a lower weight class to go after.
Yeah, probably.
She gain weight, do more records,
Yeah.
then change the weight 84, more
Do
records,
700?
more
Yeah,
records.
she could have a record in every class.
Well, here's her. I think she's got a bench press record in every class, 69, 76, 84. But eventually, so she's going to target the 69 kilo world championship, target Sheffield as a 76. So she wants to be a 3-peat Sheffield, 2 division world champ, go for a 3rd division world champ, of course, setting up the ultimate showdown. The longest reigning champion is Amanda Lawrence, who's undefeated since 2019, going way back to the World Championships in Sweden. I remember talking to you before it. My God, so much has happened since then, Gustav. But anyways, so Amanda's always been there. And Amanda's resume is fantastic. But Agatha Shiko's resume, if she does do 3 Sheffields and looking at 3, no one's ever done it, obviously, and looking at 3 world titles in 3 weight classes, no one's ever done that, men or women either, that would be it, right?
I think it's
That's the greatest of all time.
possible to see the bench press for 84 class, 200 kilos.
Baby, it's Agatha.
Agatha.
That
You never
She
know.
can
You-
gain-
You can't say no.
No, no.
If you say no, she will be
She's
like,
a monster.
I will prove you wrong.
yeah.
She's a monster.
Yeah.
She's a monster.
Yeah, she's a monster. It was hilarious seeing her at the meet and greet with a beer in her hand. As
And
we're
pizza.
leaving the
And
venue, it's January. She walks by wearing shorts with like a box of pizza. It's like, God damn, she's such like a character.
Yeah.
She's such a character. But any other closing final thoughts, gentlemen? You think we pretty much hit everything? I think that pretty much, it'll probably come to us after we leave, but it is what we're operating literally on no sleep. Gentlemen, I appreciate the hell out of you guys doing this. I know it's not easy. Like none of us has slept last night, but it's a good thing. It's because we're experiencing life moments.
Yep.
Yeah.
We really are. Like I remember, like honestly, I brought up Sweden 2019. I remember Gustav in 2018 when he was a junior, winning the junior world championships, out totaling everybody in the open. And we all knew he was something special. I remember 2019 in the warm-up room. I remember talking to you. I remember specifically looking, you didn't stop moving back then. This is so much has happened. That was your first time in an open world championship in your home country. And I remember looking at you and you wouldn't stop moving the warm-up
I
room.
was nervous.
And now look at you.
Yeah.
All of these years later, everything you've been through, the adversity, the triumph, the ups, downs, everything in between.
Yep.
You can't buy this experience.
Oh, it has to be lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you in 2017 defeating Taylor Atwood for a world title, and look where powerlifting was in 2017.
And there wasn't.
I mean, we didn't have nearly. This is all a dream.
Yeah, it is.
It was all a dream when we're living it. Gentlemen, I greatly appreciate you guys doing this. I know it's not easy, and we'll touch base. I'll reach out to you guys. We'll do some individual podcasts like we do leading into the World Championships and leading into World Games and everything else. And I'll have Panna on the podcast.
Yeah, Panna first.
And Matt Gary.
Panna should be your first guest. Yeah, Panna and Matt Gary.
together, yeah.
Put him in.
They do the recap show.
And it would be like a caption, talk about Kjell.
All right, everybody. Until next time, we're looking to book a special guest. It hasn't been confirmed yet because we're doing these like literally 2 o'clock in the morning, some of these. But thank you for tuning in, everybody who did tune in. And I'll post up the audio versions as well if you just want to listen to the audio recap later on. Until next time, Six Pack Lapadat.
See you next year.
And we're out.